navigate referrals. When it comes to asking for and getting referrals, you have to be aware of the person's buying behavior style. So for those of you that have read Navigate, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that haven't read Navigate, go read Navigate, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. But there's 4 different buying behavior styles. You have a fighter, an entertainer, a detective, and a counselor. And it's very important, if you want to take your business to the next level, is being aware of what are the tendencies, what are the fears, what motivates all of these different buying behavior styles, because all 4 of them are completely different. So for this session, what we're going to focus on is what are the fears, what are the objections that all 4 of these behavior styles have when it comes to giving you referrals when you ask for referrals. So let's start with the fighter. A fighter typically will give you the objection, I just don't have time. So fighters are straight to the point, don't waste my time. And when they tell you, oh, you know what, I just don't have time for this, call me later, they'll say something like that. Sometimes they'll even stand up and start walking out of the room if they know the conversation's over and now you're going into referral mode. So a very easy technique that I recommend that you try is called the LinkedIn technique. So what the LinkedIn technique is it's very simple. You also stand up with them and say, hey, yeah, no problem. By the way, are you on LinkedIn? And most of the time they'll say yes and say, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto LinkedIn. I'm going to check out a couple of people that you know that might be good for me to meet. And I'll just send you an email or I'll call you and we'll talk through the details of who I'm going to call that's on your LinkedIn. Does that sound good? And 9 times out of 10, they say, sure, yeah, whatever. You make a note, go to LinkedIn and do it, and you'll get your referrals from that fighter who's walking out of the room, not giving you the time. Second person is the entertainer. So with an entertainer and navigating referrals with an entertainer, what we want to make sure that we're doing is when they give us the objection, let me think about it. We want to make sure that we're ready to be able to know how to not just let them think about it, but to get referrals right there on the spot. So the funny thing about entertainers, remember, they're the ones that are the most energetic. They love people. They want to help, and most of the time they get overwhelmed easily. So when you ask, hey, who do you know that would be a good fit for me to talk with? They're like, gosh, I know so many people. It's hard for me to focus on who would be the best person to talk with. So there's a technique called the cell phone referral technique that I want you to use with the entertainers. And it's very simple. So what the cell phone referral technique is you say, hey, do you have your cell phone on you? Great. Well, yeah, I have mine here. What kind of cell phone do you have? And literally you pull out your cell phone. You make them pull out their cell phone, and sometimes just build a little funny joke in there about the phone and how great they are or whatever. And then what you say is, what I want you to do is I want you to put my cell phone number in your cell phone to make sure you have access to me anytime you need it. So again, the cell phone referral technique is you pull out your cell phone, you have them pull out their cell phone, and you say, what I want is for you to have access to me anytime. So I want you to put my cell phone into your cell phone. So they say, sure, yeah, that's a great idea. And then you say, okay, so my phone number is 615-260-0182. And they put it in, they put their name, say, hey, while you're in there, you know what? You probably have most of your contacts in your cell phone, don't you? And they say, yeah. Say, well, while you're sitting there looking at that, why don't you just scroll through it? And what I'm looking for are sales managers that have teams of 3 or more salespeople that just need help taking their sales to the next level. And you probably know people in the real estate business, mortgage business, insurance, financial planning. I bet that there's a couple of those people in your cell phone. So just scroll through it and see who you can find. And they just start scrolling through their cell phone. Boom, you're right into their database. You've helped isolate the face and help the entertainer not get overwhelmed. The next one is the detectives. So when it comes to navigating referrals with detectives, the main thing that they're going to say, the main objection they're going to give you is that, you know, I just don't give referrals. It's just not really a fit for me. I don't really like doing it. And they're the most abrasive of the 4 in terms of just kind of saying, I just don't know if I'm going to do it. What is happening psychologically is a lot of times they have given a referral, they followed up with a person that they gave the referral to, and they said, yeah, it didn't really work. They talked to their friend, and their friend said, hey, that guy was high pressure. He didn't do a good job, and don't ever give my name out again. And that cuts a detective to the core. If they've ever had a bad experience with giving referrals or receiving referrals, in any respect, they will latch onto that. Their biggest fear is making a mistake. So again, a detective's biggest fear is making a mistake. So knowing that, they freak out about this referral thing. So what we need to do, the answer to that is walk them through the process. So you literally walk them through what it looks like when you're going to meet them and introduce yourself to them, to when you're going to do your fact finder, to when you're going to do your presentation, to the close, and let them know, hey, I'm not here to sell people stuff. What I'm here to do is simply educate them of what we do. And if it's a fit for them, that's great. If it's not a fit, it's no big deal. It won't hurt my feelings if they don't buy. My goal and my job is to make sure that everybody in Nashville, Tennessee knows exactly what we do, and that's it. So you create a huge buying atmosphere with them, you walk them through the process, and then you can close them with, listen, have you had a great experience through talking with me over the course of our relationship? They say, yes, of course I've had fun talking with you. Say, I'm going to do exactly the same thing with your friends, and I promise I'll take care of them. And that will help logically walk a detective through why they should give you referrals, and they'll give you referrals. The last one is the counselor. Now, when getting referrals from a counselor and navigating their fears and challenges, a counselor, a lot of times, they'll say the objection, you know what, Dustin, I just need to talk with them before I feel comfortable having you call them. Very common objection from a counselor. So if they give you that, saying, let me talk with them, and then I'll give you a call and let you know if it's okay or not, say, you know what, that sounds like too much work, Mr. Counselor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the work for you. So who would you want to talk to? Let's go ahead and, who's the first person that you would call that you think might be a good fit as long as they were okay with it? And you go ahead and get all the names from the counselor and write all of them down. And say, what I'm going to do, and here's the technique and the solution, is I'm going to send you an email template for you to forward to the referrals. So I don't want you to have to do all this work and call people, and that's way too much. Literally all I need you to do is to copy and paste an email that I'm going to write for you that introduces me to them, and that way all you have to do is type in their email, forward this message to them, and copy me on it. Just copy me on the email saying, John meet Dustin, Dustin meet John, and then I'll have the message written for you. It's simple, it's easy, and I'll send you the list to even remind you who you thought was a good fit to talk with. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you navigate referrals.